Welcome to Unlocked on this great New Year's Day. It is a wonderful occasion in our nation's story. We are once again an independent country capable of governing ourselves and making our way in the wider world. Over many years, I and my friends and colleagues and many of you have fought a long battle to say that we must take back control. For years, we've seen a global establishment take over more and more things. They have a single unified view, which is often not the view of many of the people in the nations they seek to govern. And they seek to control us by international treaties, by international quangos, by bodies that are not directly democratically accountable to us, the people. The essence of parliamentary democracy is just that the people elect their representatives to hold their sovereign power for a stated period of time. And if the elected representatives use it well, they are returned again to govern again. And if they use it badly, they are dismissed. The problem with so much unaccountable establishment government in the world is that we, the people, have no such right to call them to account, to demand that they change their views and do better, or to dismiss them if they fail. It always struck me as bizarre that the United Kingdom of all countries, with the mother of parliaments and such a long history of battling for everyone to have a vote and a voice, should fall into a system where we could not even decide how to tax ourselves through our own elected parliament. I and many others wanted to take VAT off green products at a time when it would be good to insulate more homes and to have better controls and better boilers and heating systems. Indeed, the global elite themselves are demanding that of us, and yet the United Kingdom in the European Union was not allowed to take VAT off those very products they were requiring of us. So the first thing we had to do was to take back control of our taxation. And it is great news that on the first day of our freedom we learned that some of those wrongs are going to be righted, that some of those VAT impositions will be removed. We then saw, as the world's fifth largest economy and trading nation, our fishing industry demolished, damaged gravely by a common fisheries policy, which was neither kind to our fish nor to our fishermen and women. And again, we must take back control. There is still some unfinished business, but it is great news on the first day of our freedom that the UK will go ahead and ban pulse fishing, very aggressive fishing technique that can damage our marine environment. Now we are again an independent country, and there is more work to be done to establish full control over all our fish stocks and improve our marine conservation at the same time. We needed to take back control of our farming. For years in the Common Agricultural Policy, we saw the proportion of our food, which we grew and reared for ourselves, declining year by year. The terms of the Common Agricultural Policy did not suit the United Kingdom. They provided grants for us to grub up our orchards so that we could import fruit from the continent. They seemed quite keen that we reduced our output of milk and that we did not maintain our market share in many of the livestock areas. We can take back control, and we can now tailor grant schemes that are good for more food production at home. We need to get back to being largely self-sufficient in temperate food, as we were in the early 1970s before we joined the European Economic Community. We need to take back control of our industrial grants and soft loans and support. Like many of you, I tired of seeing grant and loan schemes from the European Union used to take investment away from the United Kingdom, sometimes to close factories here, sometimes to make sure we did not get the new investment when I knew we could be good at it if the terms of support were fair to all. So we now need a system in the United Kingdom which provides sensible support to those areas we wish to encourage and grow. As we cut the food miles, we will need to grant aid our farms. As we rebuild some of our lost industries, the foundries and some of the capacity in motor vehicles and steel, we may indeed need to provide some assistance, and we now have the control to do so. It was curious that we were told in the European Union that you were allowed some free ports and enterprise zones. Yet, United Kingdom governments successively decided that they could not expand and introduce enough of those because of the state aid rules. Today, with control, we can decide how many free ports and enterprise zones to have. And let us have many more of them. The more we can do to promote growth in areas that need to have greater prosperity, the more that we can do to attract and retain business here, the better, because we want the prosperity of the British people, and our Freeport and enterprise zone schemes should reinforce that. As one of the world's great trading nations, it was also curious that we did not have control over our trade policy. It was entirely conducted globally by the European Union. And so one of the great voices for free trade in the world, the United Kingdom, one of the pioneers of free trade, many decades ago, had to sit on the edge of the room without a voice and a vote because the European Union had subsumed it. Today, the United Kingdom will once again be a powerful voice for free trade in the world, with an energetic trade secretary signing free trade deals on a very regular basis, rolling over deals the EU had and pioneering new deals. And I look forward to that opportunity for the United Kingdom to enter the TransPacific Partnership, a vital and dynamic and large part of the world economy with whom we need to trade more in the years ahead, because that will be a breakthrough we were not allowed to do all the time we were in the European Union. And there are many other world bodies where the United Kingdom will now have an enhanced voice and vote by no longer being part of the European Union. In too many areas, we either had to compromise our views to strike with the European Union with a common pose, or we were literally debarred from having an independent view because of our European Union membership. I have every confidence in the wisdom, moderation and sense of the United Kingdom people and of its parliament as it gets used to the idea of independence. And we need a government that speaks for us and speaks for the wider world in all those international bodies. So that is why this is such a historic moment. We are taking back control of so many things. The world is now teeming with opportunities. Far from diminishing the United Kingdom, this greatly increases our ability to do good and to influence the world for causes we believe in. What could be better than a democratic United Kingdom, full of debate and disagreement and argument, as we always will have because we are a great democracy, but capable of projecting a great voice, a voice for the good, a voice for prosperity, a voice for peace, a voice for democracy worldwide. That is what our country stands for. That can unite most people in our country. So this indeed is a great new year, a happy new year to you all.